Success is created by doing the basics to a high standard consistently. Thibaut, let's jump into these charts, my friends. We see the S&P and the NASDAQ 100 soaring today. We see everything else pulling back. That is bonds, gold, and Bitcoin. Let's jump first into the S&P 500. Man, we told you on Friday the 60% bullishness told you to look for lots of volume and a green up candle. Well, that's what you saw this morning. And bam, look at the latest, first day of the latest 2-day candle. Boom, it is up. It doesn't, though. If you look at the volume on the 2-day, again, it's been low lately all the way back to the 9th and 10th of April. So has, of course, the weekly chart, low volume, going all the way back to the week beginning the 7th of April. But as we look at the half day, it's ginned up for both the morning and afternoon. But the 2-day, first day of the latest 2-day candle, it's not even halfway toward the average. So we'll see how things wrap up. But nonetheless, it was a beautiful day. Where does that leave us with the directional probability starting today over the next 5+ days? 70% bullish probability of continued up movement to the tune of about another, back test actually about 75%. We're not showing a huge move up at this point. We've got some resistance around the 583, 584 level, which is about where things are now. So let's see if we push through that and keep going. Now, as we move from the NASDAQ 100 into the NASDAQ 100 from the S&P 500, we see that it's up even more, 4.07%, closed at 507.85. So just a jamming up. It was bullish, only 55% on Friday. Told you to look for green up candles with lots of volume, and you saw that in the morning, followed by in the afternoon. Again, not a lot of volume on the 2-day, but a big candle, nice big green candle for the week. It's got a ways to go to hit average volume, which, like I said, on the S&P, just like we see here on the Qs, hasn't hit that high volume since the week, average or more since the week beginning the 7th of April. Where does that lead us? Well, bullish at 65% probability over the next 5+ days, a 70% back test accuracy. Look for continued green up candles with volume to continue in that upward move. That is where we are with stocks. Now things flip over, and of course we have been negative and bearish for quite a while on 20-year U.S. government bonds. On Friday, we were at 70% bearishness. Here on Monday, we're at 75% bearishness. And of course, what happened? Well, things pulled back 0.93%, almost 8%. Not a lot of volume there, not a lot of volume on the 2-day. Decent volume on the half day, down in the morning, further down in the afternoon. We told you, watch for red down candles with volume. Well, you had that in the morning, followed by that in the afternoon. So things moving in that direction takes us from the 70% bearish to the 75% bearish. So again, just continue following that move if indeed that's where things go. Now, gold, which had rewarded us over and over and over again with 85% bullishness, it now has flipped over to some bearishness after things punched through very strongly that weekly trend line on both the weekly chart, the 2-day chart, and the half-day chart. You see it was down in the morning, further down in the afternoon, lots of volume in the morning. Again, not even half the volume to get you up to the average tomorrow. So again, if it's another big down day for gold, it might get up to that on the 2-day chart. But again, punching through consistently on all 3 charts with a strong red down candle blowing out that prior up move. Now, it could do, by the time the week gets out, it could go into something like we saw 2 weeks ago, the week beginning the 28th of April, where it was a doji. But of course, that doji weakened the up move. Last week tried to move up, but again, just sort of quashed it. We're 60%, which is a little more than a coin toss, down. We are at a 65% back test accuracy. Again, nothing to write home about. That is a coin toss, and I don't bet on coin tosses, nor am I going to go into the stock market and gamble on one. So again, we'll wait for gold to straighten its way out or to give us better percentages. Now, where are we on HODL? It was down for the day 1.30%. You know, going into this fourth week of up movement, we can see where it's up in the morning and then dropped off in the afternoon. We've seen that happen a few times lately. And then what has Bitcoin done since the 9th of April? It has run up, slid sideways or down a little bit, run up, slid sideways, down a little bit, run up, slid sideways, down and up. Well, it's pulling back right now. Where does that leave us? Again, sort of lackadaisical here on Bitcoin, just a coin toss either direction at this point. We are showing a 55% bearishness with a backtest accuracy of only 60%. Not anything I'm going to be jumping into on a pullback. But again, where are we as far as the candle, the Heikin Ashi candle for the week? We see when you take out all of the confusion and the noise, we still see things moving up. So keep that in mind. Overall, of course, the trend is your friend until the end when it bends. And it ain't bent yet, my friends, on that weekly chart. And of course, what is the high of highs on Bitcoin? Well, if we go back to December and then into late January, we see the high on Bitcoin at 30.66. And again, 30.35. If we go back to our 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart, you can see the high of highs, which was on the 20th of January, and that was 109.356. Where did we hit the high over the course of today? 105.706. So we're not far off. So keep your powder dry, watch Bitcoin, and again, hopefully we'll see it hit those high of highs. A little bit of a pullback today, but again, we'll keep our eye on things as the moves continue. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth. We always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com.